Consider the profound power of silence in the stirring story of a sculptor tirelessly shaping the marble without the clamor of words, his craft speaking volumes more than any grandiose declaration could. Day after day, the sculptor chisels away, driven not by the urge for applause or the roar of the crowd, but by a quiet resolve to create something timeless. His silence, a loud testament to his focus and perseverance, ultimately unveils a masterpiece that commands more respect than any spoken boast ever could. This story captures the essence of a fundamental truth. Often it is the silent, steady action that carves the deepest impact. In a world brimming with noise where many shout for attention, it becomes increasingly powerful to engage in the art of silence, for silence is not merely the absence of sound, but a profound strategy rich with patience and wisdom. Okay, think about it. Silence can strategic a choice that enhances personal and professional life in ways that noise cannot. It is in silence that we often find the clarity and resolve needed to overcome the greatest challenges. It is in silence that the wise listen and learn, where they draw strength to forge ahead amidst life's chaos. In our lives, to adopting this silent strategy can transform the silence as superficial into the substantial. It shifts our focus from seeking external validation to cultivating internal strength. Instead of reacting impulsively, silence encourages reflection, a pause that invites the opportunity to respond with precision and intention. Thus, embracing silence is embracing a form of action that is contemplative, powerful, and profoundly effective. It compels others to look beyond the surface, to stop and consider deeply. In the stillness of our actions, the results begin to speak louder than words ever could harness. The strength of silence, let it be our guide in navigating the complexities of life and relationships. With silence as our companion, we become observers, strategists, and ultimately architects of our own destiny, building our lives with the quiet confidence of the sculptor, one deliberate stroke at a time. Right in our lives, silence is often misunderstood as a sign of weakness, an absence of response, or the inability to reply. However, this could not be further from the truth. Silence, when used strategically, becomes a powerful tool, a response that communicates much more than words ever could. There is a pervasive myth in our society that to be heard, one must be the loudest in the room. From boardrooms to public squares, the person who speaks the most and loudest often gains the spotlight. However, true power does not come from noise, but from the judicious use of silence. It's about holding a pause longer than comfortable, letting the quiet speak volumes, and allowing others to fill the space. This silence disconcert, persuade, and command, often leading to deeper influence than mere verbosity could achieve. Consider the world of nature, where silence governs the law of life and death. The lion, while powerful, does not roar while stalking its prey. It remains as silent as the night, understanding that in the economy of survival, silence equals effectiveness. So in human engagements, whether in leadership, negotiation, or everyday interactions, knowing when to speak and when to remain silent is a mark of true wisdom and strength, contrary to being a passive state. Silence is an active form of communication. Involves listening, reflecting, and choosing to hold one's speech until the moment is right. In strategic silence, there is a preparation and anticipation of the right time to unleash one's thoughts, much like a chess navigating adversity player who sits quietly pondering the next move will checkmate the opponent. In silence, the effectiveness of silence over loudness is also evident in its ability to create respect and authority. People naturally lean in and listen when a leader chooses their words carefully and speaks only when necessary. The rare words gives them weight, making chosen word resonate with much greater impact than a torrent of thoughtless chatter could ever hope to achieve. In the professional world, think of the negotiations where silence plays a strategic role. After presenting a proposal, the next move might be to remain silent. This silence puts pressure on the other side, allowing them to consider the proposal, seriously reflect on its benefits, and often come to the conclusion you desire without any further persuasion needed. Moreover, silence is often the best answer to criticism or insult responding in anger or haste can lead to mistakes or regrets, but a calm, measured silence can disarm an adversary and give you the upper hand. It shows control, respect for oneself and the situation by not lowering oneself to base responses. Let this understanding change how we view silence. It is not just an absence, but a presence that is powerful, strategic, and profoundly influential. By mastering the art of silence, we master important aspect of human interaction and personal growth. Thus, change your perspective. Silence for what it really is, an important tool in our arsenal to achieve success, and influence in a noisy world throughout history. There are luminous examples where silence, not merely a void, but a strategic force meticulously wielded by leaders and visionaries to craft the future of nations and businesses. Consider the profound influence of silence in shaping outcomes and influencing pivotal moments. Take, for instance, the quiet resolve of Abraham Lincoln during the Civil War. While a nation sea all around him, often harshly critical of his policies, Lincoln's ability to sit quietly with his decisions, to absorb the criticism without immediate response, allowed him to steer the course of a fractured nation towards unity and emancipation. His silence was not inaction. Rather, it was a thoughtful pause, gathering strength and conviction to act decisively at the right moments in the realm of business. Consider the Japanese practice of forenzo, which emphasizes not just practical strategies, communication, but the strategic use of silence in meetings. This practice allows for the space to think and reflect rather than filling every moment. With talk, the Japanese have long understood that this kind of silence can lead to greater creativity and deeper insights, fostering environments where ideas mature before they are critiqued. Right silence in negotiation is another powerful strategy. It's said that after presenting an offer, the most effective negotiators simply stay quiet. They let the silence settle in, putting pressure on the other party to respond. This technique can shift the balance of power and often leads to favorable terms without a word being spoken. These historical and modern examples reflect broader principles applicable to personal development and business strategy. Silence is a form of wisdom, a tool that, when used wisely, can lead to profound insights and strategic advantages. It teaches us patience, allowing for the natural unfolding of events. It teaches us restraint, preventing premature reactions that could lead to less favorable outcomes. And it teaches us to listen, which is perhaps the most powerful skill in both personal growth and business and personal development. Embracing silence can help us connect with our deeper intentions, quieting the noisy demands of the external world. It allows us to clear the clutter of daily life and focus on what truly matters. In the rush to achieve and accumulate, silence pulls us, reminding us that it is in quietude that our true path becomes clear. In business, strategic silence can be transformative, allowing leaders to command respect and authority without being overtly assertive. By holding back, they create a presence that speaks louder than words. They become thoughtful listeners, which is critical in understanding market needs, consumer desires, and competitive dynamics. Let us then consider silence, not as a gap in conversation or a sign of indecision, as a deliberate strategy rich with potential, like the silent depths of the ocean that hold the fiercest currents. Our silent moments can be the ones that precede and predict the most significant epic shifts in our journeys, whether in leading others in negotiations or in the personal quest. Meaning, silence is a companion that teaches us to wait, to think, and to strategize before we act. Harness the power of silence. Use it not as a shield, but as a sword cutting through the noise to reveal the essence of our true intentions. Be strategic in our silence, using it to gather strength, wisdom. As we do, we may find that our PS moments are those that speak most powerfully about our potential to shape our destiny and influence the world in this bustling world of relentless noise and ceaseless clamor. How often do we step back and treasure the potent, profound silence, the journey inward? Exploration of silence is not merely a respite from the chaos, but a deep reflective process that nurtures growth and self-realization. Okay, imagine the stillness of a quiet morning before the world waits, the calm of a tranquil evening as the day slowly unwinds. Silence in its purest form, offers us a canvas untouched and pristine upon which we can paint the vivid colors of our inner thoughts and feelings. It's in silence and decision-making, these moments of quietude, that we truly meet our silence serves as the space between notes and a melody vital for creating the rhythm and harmony of music. Similar in the symphony of our lives, it is the quiet moments that bring balance and meaning to the louder, more visible ones. Embracing silence isn't about finding nothing. It's about discovering everything that matters in these silent intervals. We find the freedom to reflect a question and to clarify our deepest convictions. We engage in a dialogue with ourselves, asking, who am I really? And what do I genuinely aspire to become? These questions are the seeds from which the flowers of personal growth sprout. Without silence, these seeds would lie dormant, buried under the rubble of incessant noise. Think about the great thinkers, philosophers, and leaders throughout history. Many of them attributed their insights and breakthroughs to moments of profound silence. It was in the stillness that their minds, free from the distractions of their environments, could wander into new territories of thought and innovation. Yet silence is not merely about being alone. It's about being with oneself fully. It's about tuning in to our authentic self without the mask the world often requires us to wear. It's in silence that we can strip away pretense and meet our true selves without judgment or distraction. Moreover, cultivating a practice of silence can significantly enhance our emotional resilience. By regularly spending time in quiet reflection, we build a sanctuary within ourselves, a place of strength and stability we can return to when the outer world becomes overwhelming. This sanctuary becomes a wellspring of serenity that refreshes and renews us. Business and personal life, alike, the strategic use of silence can be a powerful tool. It allows us to listen more intently to others, to understand deeper underlying messages, and to respond with greater wisdom and tact in negotiations. For example, silence can be a tactic that compels the other party to reveal more of their intentions, thereby giving us the information we need to make better decisions. Embracing silence also encourages patience in our fast-paced, instant gratification world. Learning to wait peacefully opens us to the natural unfolding of life. We learn that not all questions need immediate answers and not all problems need instant solutions. Often, it is in the waiting, in the quiet contemplation, that the best answers slowly emerge. Therefore, let us welcome silence, not as a void, but as a space brimming with potential. Let it be the soil in which our thoughts, ideas, and dreams can germinate and grow. By fostering silence, we cultivate a mind that can not only withstand the trials and tribulations of life, also thrive amid them. We learn that in the quiet, the whispers of our deepest desires and truth become audible, guiding us on our path to fulfillment and peace. So I urge you, find those moments of silence in your day, early in the morning, late at night, or any time in between. Embrace these pauses, reflect personal stories, meditate and ponder, for in these quiet moments, the voice becomes clear, and in listening to it, we find the wisdom to lead lives of profound meaning and impact, not just for ourselves, but for the world we touch in the ever-spinning world of noise and haste. The art of silence has become almost a forgotten virtue, overshadowed by the clamor of immediate gratifications and constant digital notifications. Yet in this noise there lies a powerful secret, one that requires us to step back, to quiet in the external and internal tumult, to truly listen and to reflect deeply. This is the art of strategic silence, a skill that once harnessed can elevate our decision-making, enhance our presence, and deepen our understanding of the world and ourselves. Right now, consider this. How often do we pause in our conversations to truly listen, not merely preparing to speak again, but to understand deeply? Strategic silence is not about the absence of sound. It's about the presence of a transformative space in which we can think more clearly and connect more. To cultivate this silence in a world that prays as noise can seem daunting, yet it is imminently achievable through mindful, deliberate practices. Begin by carving out periods of silence in your day. Could be early in the morning or late at night times when the world around you naturally quiets. Use these moments not just for reflection, but to set the tone for your day or to gather your thoughts and compose yourself after a day's turmoil. Embrace meditation, a structured way to cultivate silence. And stillness meditation doesn't need to be complex or tied to any particular philosophy or spiritual path. It is simply about being present. Start with just 5 minutes a day sitting quietly, focused. Your breath noticing when your mind wanders and gently bringing your attention back. This practice enhances your ability to command your focus to be present in the moment, to control the impulses of speech and action that so often lead us astray. Learn to be comfortable with silence in conversation. Often we rush to feel the quiet, fearing discomfort. However, silence can be a powerful ally. It gives others space to express themselves and reveals more than hurried interjections ever could. By listening more than we speak, we gain insights and perspectives that would otherwise be lost in the haste to respond. Moreover, regular periods of silence foster a deeper connection with himself. In the quiet, you hear not just the sounds of life, but also the quieter, sometimes ignored voice of your own wisdom. Silence provides the space necessary to question our deepest convictions, to sift through our thoughts and emotions, and to distinguish between the noise and what truly matters. Encourage yourself to incorporate these practices regularly. Like any skill, the art of silence grows stronger with practice. It becomes a strategic tool in navigating the complexities of life and work. With each moment of silence, you may find that your decision-making becomes more deliberate and less reactive, your presence more commanding, yet serene, and your interactions richer, more meaningful. Thus, to those seeking to deepen their understanding and enhance their clarity, remember, it is in the quiet moments, in the depth of silence, that the seeds of wisdom are sown. Cultivate these moments, protect them, and watch as they transform not only your mind and spirit, but also the very essence of your interactions and decisions. Let silence be your companion, a guide through the noise, leading you to the profound depths of understanding that are so often drowned out in our tumultuous world, where criticisms fly like arrows and adversity looms like a professional application storm. There lies a powerful yet often overlooked shield. Silence. Imagine for a moment a scenario where the world around you swirls with criticism and challenge. Here, silence is not a sign of defeat nor an admission of guilt. It is a deliberate choice, a sign of strength and self-command. To master silence in the face of adversity is to exercise a form of control that few can claim to possess. It's about choosing your battles wisely, knowing that not every provocation deserves your reaction. Not every criticism warrants your defense. There's tremendous power in this kind of restraint, a power that fosters an environment of reflection, of poise, and of deep, unwavering strength. Consider the moments when criticism strikes sharp, and yielding the instinct might be to respond, to defend one's honor, but often it's in these moments that silence speaks loudest, that choosing to respond with silence, you communicate a number of things that you are considering the message, not just reacting, that you are above petty disputes, that you reserve the right to control the conversation. So how does one cultivate this noble silence? Start with self-awareness. Know your values, your goals, and your limits. Self-awareness is like the roots of a great oak, keeping you grounded when the winds of criticism howl. From this place of stability, silence becomes a strategic tool rather than a mere absence of words. It allows you to listen truly, to understand the undercurrents of the confrontation before you. This understanding can transform potential conflicts into opportunities for insight growth. Next, practice patience. Patience. Temper the urge to react impulsively, providing the space to measure your words and actions against the backdrop of your long-term aspirations. Criticism comes your way. Give yourself a moment of pause. Reflect on the intent behind the words. Are they constructive? Are they meant to harm? With patience, you can discern the difference and choose a response that aligns with your greater objectives. Furthermore, use silence to fortify your inner dialogue. In the quiet, remind yourself of your strengths and achievements. Allow your silence to be a period of reinforcing your self-esteem against the barbs of critics. Remember the value of your actions, and your character is not diminished by the doubts or misunderstandings of others. Finally, embrace the wisdom of strategic withdrawal. Sometimes the most powerful thing you is walk away. This is not a retreat, but a tactical move in the chess game of interpersonal dynamics. Knowing when to remove yourself from the board can prevent needless conflict and preserve valuable relationships by employing silence thoughtfully. You ensure that when you choose to speak, your words carry greater weight, your insights deeper, resonant silence. Therefore, is not just a shield, it is also a lens focusing your energies and sharpening your perspective. Thus, in your journey through life's challenge and criticisms, let conclusion silence be both your armor and your advisor. Let it teach you about others and about yourself. Silence is your companion. You will find that even the harshest adversities and the sharpest criticisms can be met with dignity and turned into stepping stones towards greater personal strength. This journey through silence is not the path of least resistance. It is the path of greatest growth. We have navigated the quiet currents of silence, understanding its depth and its dynamic power in both personal lives and our professional encounters. We have seen how silence is not merely the absence of sound, but a profound strategy, a cultivated art that, when mastered, transforms ordinary encounters into moments of deep insight and transformation. We learn that silence fortifies self-awareness, anchoring us firmly in our values and beliefs even as storms of criticism attempt to sway us. It teaches us patience, not as a passive waiting, but as an active, strategic part of our interactions that allows us to respond not out of emotion, but out of principle. Silence enhances our ability to listen, to truly hear what is being said beyond the word spoken, discerning intentions, underlying messages. It is in this understanding that we gain the power to influence, to heal, and to lead. Moreover, we discovered that strategic withdrawal, choosing when to step back, when to observe rather than participate, can prevent conflicts and preserve peace. This thoughtful disengagement about surrender, but about choosing battles that matter, that lead to growth, that align with our deepest goals and aspirations. Let us take these insights, these tools of silence, and weave them into the fabric of our daily lives. Imagine the power in choosing when to speak and when to let your silence speak for you. Envision the respect and intrigue you command when you respond on the provocation, not with heated words, but with a calm, confident stillness. Picture the impact of your presence when you listen deeply, absorb sincerely, and act intentionally. Right now, I challenge you, confuse them with your silence when they expect words. Give them quiet contemplation when they anticipate argument. Offer peaceful reflection. Use your silence to disarm, to evaluate, and ultimately to influence. Let your quiet determination become your strength, an unspoken testament to your resolve and depth. Embrace silence, not as a weapon, but as a tool of empowerment. Let it be your companion in moments of chaos and confusion. Let it guide your thoughts and anchor your actions in wisdom. And in moments of uncertainty, remember that silence often says more than a multitude of words ever could. So, as you move outro forward from here, carry with you the lessons of silence. Let them illuminate your path and shape your destiny. Stand firm in the knowledge that your silent moments are not voids of nothingness, but rich pauses filled with growth and potential. May your journey through silence inspire others, influence outcomes, and instill a deep sense of purpose and clarity in all that you do. Let the power of your silence confound the critics and shape the narratives that define your life and your legacy. Go forth with the quiet confidence of one who knows the strength of silence, and let it be your guide to achieving the extraordinary.